Oledo was a young, beautiful lady in her late 20s. She is the wife of Afamefuna, a very hard-working young man in his mid-40s. Afamefuna was an iron bender, and they both had a lovely, beautiful daughter together called Ifeyinwa. Oledo would always nag her husband day by day for not providing enough, and Afamefuna would do his best to always avoid her and keep providing no matter how little it was. It was Ifeyinwa's 10th birthday, and Oledo, a stay-at-home mom, had promised her daughter a lot of things on her birthday whilst waiting for her husband to return from work. Oledo said to Ifeyinwa, "Don't worry, my daughter. I know that your father and I have never celebrated your birthday. It's not like we don't have money, oh. Just that we decided to save everything for your 10th birthday because 10 is a big number. We are going to take you out to eat anywhere and anything you like. We will also take you for toy shopping, after which clothes shopping." Ifeyunwa replied, "Really, mom?" And Oledo said, "Yes, nah. And it doesn't end there. After all your shopping, we will now end it by going to pick a very nice princess cake for you, then throw you a party at home." Ifeyunwa jumped up with excitement. Hugging her mom, she replied, saying, "Thank you, mommy." Afamefuna walked in to meet them hugging. With a big smile on his face, he said, "It's like you both started without me." Ifeyinwa, with excitement, jumped up and hugged him. And he started singing her a birthday song. "Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you." Ifeyinwa was so happy and waiting to see what was next. "When are we leaving, father?" said Ifeyinwa. And Afamefuna replied, "To where?" And Ifeyinwa replied, "Mama told me that you both are going to take me shopping for clothes and cakes and toys." And the smile on Afamefuna's face disappeared. And he said to Ifeyinwa, "We'll talk about that later. Go to your room. I need to speak to your mother." And Ifeyinwa joyfully danced to her room. And Afamefuna turned to Oledo, wondering why she had lied to Ifeyinwa, their daughter. And then he asked, "Why would you tell her such a lie? Why would you give her a false hope on her birthday? Oledo, what is your motive?" And Oledo angrily stood up, pointing her fingers at Afamefuna. "Look at this useless man asking me such a dirty question. Why did I give her false hope? You are not ashamed of yourself. Something as little as this you cannot even do. Bia, Afamefuna, how did I agree to marry a man like you that smells so much of poverty? Something that your mates will just close their eye and do. You are here asking me a very foolish question. Well, I don't blame you. I blame myself for agreeing to settle for a poor man like you. Afamefuna, I deserve better, and very soon you will see," said Oledo as she walked out and slammed the door at Afamefuna. With Afamefuna standing there and wondering to himself, "What have I ever done to this woman? Is being poor now a crime?" And then one day, Ifeyinwa was very sick. And beautiful Oledo, as usual, was waiting for her husband to return from work and bring money so that their daughter, Ifeyinwa, would be taken to the hospital. Afamefuna walked in, and Oledo stood up from her chair, looking so angry, stretched out her hand to Afamefuna and said, "Ifeyinwa has to go to the hospital, and I need money right now." Afamefuna replied, "Do you know if I have money? I'm your husband. Ask me about my day first." And Oledo replied, I should ask you about your day so that you can bore me about your lazy day. And she yelled at him, Please give me money, Jare. Lost for words, Afamefuna dipped his hand inside his pocket and brought out 5,000 naira and said, This is all I have made today. We can't afford taking her to the hospital. So let me quickly rush and run to the pharmacy and buy her some drugs. And Oledu dragged the 5,000 naira from him, went inside their room, dragging her bags. She carried their daughter, who was sleeping on her shoulder, and said, You are too poor and too useless. Me and my daughter deserve better. You can go to the village and take back the bride price you paid on my head. I am done with this marriage. Goodbye, Afamefuna. She kissed her teeth and left the apartment. Oledo returned back to her father's house in the village at Uyo, and that was where she met Chief Ebuka, a very rich man from the neighboring community. Months after leaving her husband and her bride price returned, Chief Ebuka made his intention known that he would like to marry her. He has been married 8 times, and what happened to the wives, nobody knows, even though that is the question that lies in the lip of everyone. The only thing they know is that he said they all live outside the country. Many months later, and Oledo finally married Chief Ebuka, bidding herself well done because she thought she has hit a jackpot for marrying a wealthy man. She continuously sing her praise to whoever cares to listen. A year down the line, and Oledo started losing weight. At first, people thought she was on diet. Even her best friend, Ada, was curious to know why she was losing so much weight. So one day, Ada went visiting. Oledo, are you okay? Why are you losing so much weight? Are you really on diet or you went for a reduction surgery? Said Ada. Oledo replied with a very loud laugh. My dear, money is good. I'm living the life. Look at me now. Am I not glowing? Anyway, to answer your question, I'm on diet and I want to look like a model for my chief. Ada replied and said, But the diet is too much now. People are almost seeing your bones. People are also talking. Please stop dieting. You look better before compared to now. And I'm sure that's why Chief married you. Because you look pretty then. What is this? And Oledo laughed sluggishly. And Ada added, Please stop laughing. And by the way, where is Ifeyinwa? It's been long since the last time I saw her. And Oledo replied, I thought I've told you. She is no longer in the country now. She studies abroad now. And very soon, I'll go and join her. Ada was so excited and said, Eh? So it's true that chiefs always marries and send his wife and family abroad. My dear, you are so lucky, oh. You are very lucky. And they both laughed. On getting home, Ada still wasn't convinced that Oledo, almost looking like a bone, was due to diet. So she decided to phone Oledo's mother. Hello, Nne. It is Ada, Oledo's friend from the city. Mama, I don't know if it's possible for you to come to the city, so that you come and see your daughter. I don't know what is wrong with Oledo, Mama. She looks sick. She looks like someone that has cancer or HIV. Because, Mama, the only thing that is left on Oledo's body are nothing but bones. I have tried asking her, and she says she's on diet. But, Mama, I don't believe her. So, even if she can't tell me as her friend, I know she will tell you as her mother. So, Mama Bikonu, please, I don't know if it's possible so that you come to the city and go and see her and let her tell you the truth because I'm worried for her. And after a few replies from the other end of the phone, Ada replied, Okay, Mama, Ngwanu, bye. Few days later, an Oledo's mother showed up at her door. Oledo opened the door and was surprised to see her mother. And she said, Mama, welcome. What are you doing here? Why didn't you call me or tell me that you were coming? And Oledo's mother looked at her from head to toe and said, So it's true that you are sick and didn't tell me. Folding her hand, Mama said, Oledo, look at your body. Bones everywhere. And once again, Oledo tried explaining why she was on diet. But Mama was so angry and wasn't listening to Oledo. I don't know why you are looking like a bone, but if anything should happen to you, I will hold your husband responsible, said Mama Oledo. And by the way, where is my granddaughter? Where is Ifeyunwa? Asked Mama. Chief has sent her to go study abroad, replied Oledo. On the other hand, Afamefuna became successful. He employed boys to work for him and also remarried and was blessed with twin children, a boy and a girl. Because he had become successful, he thought of going out in search of Oledo so that he could properly start taking care of Ifeyunwa, his first child. But he didn't know where to look rather than calling Oledo's mother. Hello, Mama. Good afternoon, Ma, said Afamefuna. How is Oledo and Ifeyunwa? She replied, They are fine. I'm at Oledo's place right now, safe. Afamefuna added, Okay, that's even better because I would like to speak with Ifeyinwa. And Mama replied, Didn't Oledo tell you that Ifeyinwa traveled? And Afamefuna was shocked as he replied, Traveled? To where, Ma? Because Oledo didn't tell me anything. I wonder what she thinks of me because I'm no longer that Afamefuna that she used to know. Please, Mama, can I speak with her? And Mama replied, Okay, wait, let me pass her the phone. Mama gave the phone to Oledo. Hello, said Oledo. Afamefuna on the other end was already angry at Oledo and he busted at her from the phone. Oledo, where is Ifeyinwa? Why would you send her traveling without telling me? Are you the only parent she has? Or were you the only one that gave birth to her? Oledo, silently crying with tears rolling down her cheeks, replied, I'm sorry. Afamefuna, please forgive me. I'm sorry. Afamefuna thought she was apologizing for the past. He replied, I've long forgiven you. As you can see, God has been faithful. I'm no longer poor. I now have a lot of shop with a lot of boys working for me, a beautiful wife and 2 children. That is why I'm calling so that I can spoil my first child. So don't worry, I've forgiven you. Which country is she? Oledo replied crying. She went to the UK and I'll be joining her soon, in a few months. I'll call you back when I finally get to her. So till then, bye, Afamefuna. And Afamefuna cut in quickly saying, But wait, why are you crying? Is everything okay? Oledo replied, sniffing her nose. Yes, I'm fine. Have a nice day, Afamefuna. Bye. Few days later, and Mama was sleeping at night when she started perceiving something. A very strong smell coming from the hallway down the room. So she decided to trace it till she got to a door where the smell was coming from. She tried opening the door, but it wasn't opening. So she went back to bed and didn't speak of it to her daughter or her in-law because she thought it was just a regular once in a while smell, maybe from the back or from the toilet. Few days down the line, Mama was woken again at night, but this time to the cry of someone weeping and begging. And then came the smell again. So she asked, Why is someone crying by this time of the day? Who could be crying? And this smell again. Let me go and see. So she stood up and found herself at that same door again. They opened it, and behold, she was shocked at what she saw and almost ran. But Oledo quickly called out to her, "No, Mama, don't run. If you do, we'll both die here instantly. Please don't run." And Mama stood and quietly and gently turned, shaking. She turned to Oledo, who was kneeling on the floor, holding a bowl of excreta close to her dead child, who was rotting and lying on a table, alongside with her husband, who was standing in front of her with a whip tied with a red cloth. Shaking and with so much fear and tears in her eyes, Mama asked, "Oledo, what have you done to yourself?" "Oledo, what is this? Please, my child, talk to your mother." Crying bitterly, Oledo replied, "Mama, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thought all that glittered was gold. I left my hard-working Afamefuna for a better life, thinking there will be something better for me on the other end. But Mama, this was what I got." Chief cleared his throat to jump into the conversation. "Mama, your daughter was greedy. She told me the story about her first husband, and I knew she deserved what was coming to her. Because ladies these days don't appreciate genuine hard-working men, but already made men. So this is the price some of them pays. I'm sorry you had to see this, Mama, but you have come to the end of the road." Mama, shaking, so afraid, with so much tears in her eyes, turned to Oledo and asked, "Oledo, what does he mean by the end of the road? Gwa m okwu nwa m, biko nu." Oh. And Oledo replied, "I was foolish, Mama. I was greedy, and I wanted more. And this is my punishment for treating Afamefuna bad and for looking down at the poor men who came for my hand in marriage. Chief is a ritualist. He used the Ifeyinwa for money, and we both lied about it to everyone. And Mama, I couldn't do anything. And that's because he has also used me too. Mama, you're seeing me here, but I'm actually dead. I'm just here, Mama, but I'm dead. And that is why I'm looking so thin. I eat excreta from him once in every 2 nights. And it must be next to Ifeyinwa in order for him to keep having more money." And the mother cried, calling out her grandchild, "Chai, Ifeyinwa mo," said Mama, who was crying bitterly and dragging her nose with mucus. Oledo continued, "I'm sorry I disappointed you. I'm sorry, Mama. Bikonu, forgive me. I'm sorry." And Oledo stood up, took a knife that was close to Ifeyinwa's corpse and stabbed her mother, saying, "I'm sorry, Mama, but he won't let you leave. I'm doing this to save you from not looking like Ifeyinwa." The mom bled, fell, and died. Oledo cried heavily, with Chief laughing. He said, "Thank you for understanding that statement and doing the needful. I wouldn't have spared her." Oledo wiped her nose and face and turned to Chief, saying, "Please, I don't want to eat for today. I beg of you." Then Chief replied, "For taking out your mother, I will spare you today. We will continue again in 2 days. And Oledo stood up, crying and dragging her foot on the floor. Crying heavily, she went into her room. Afamefuna, on the other hand, went to see a native doctor, and he said, "Great one, Afambu, High Chief Afamefuna, a son of the land, who can never throw away his tradition to the wind, regardless of my status. Great one, with so much fear and confusion in my heart, I have come to seek answers." And the priest replied, "I know why you are here, my son. You keep seeing her every day in your dream. What she says is true, and you need to accept it," said the chief priest. And Afamifuna replied, "But how can that be? How can it be true? I spoke to her mother a few weeks ago, who said Ifeyunwa is in the UK." Then the priest laughed and replied, "Your daughter is no longer in this world. Your daughter is long gone, my son. Even the mother has joined her. She misses you and finally going to her resting place. That is why she appeared to you. Your refusal to accept it is the reason why she keeps coming till you believe, so that you will stop hoping to see her one day." And Afamifuna started crying. "But how? How did I let this happen?" And the priest replied, "Don't blame yourself, my son. Her mother killed her with the greed in her heart. Go home to your new family and be grateful for the blessings you have." Afamifuna cried bitterly, wiped his tears, and left for the city. And that is the end of this beautiful story.